I don't know. I have to say that either. Over towel. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic.
So I'm sitting here next to Francis, Rossi, and Richie Malone from Status Quo. Hello.
Hello.
Ciao.
Hello.
Hello.
I hate these things.
Echo.
Don't you hate
Echo.
these things?
So how are you?
Not bad. Okay, pretty good, reasonable. So.
Okay, or pretty good? So
One of those, yeah.
one of
Take your pick. It's a free world, really. Towel. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, good. So I'm really happy and a little bit excited to see you here today.
We're on the sofa.
And it's really nice to see that you're full of energy. I mean, next week you're going to release your 33rd album.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
amazing.
I don't know that. I just started when I was about 16, and you just keep going, and then suddenly people give you all these stats about what's good and what's not good. Some people would say we should have stopped at 3 albums, but we didn't, and so therefore people keep counting. Guess we made 33. It's quite good, really, I suppose. What do you think?
It's not bad.
Yeah, it's
That's
not bad.
amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, so where does the constant motivation and creativity come from to write so many songs?
Ego, I think. Initially, ego, I'm sure. With all
Mortgage.
musicians, actors, mortgage. Did you say the mortgage?
Yeah.
The mortgage, the children. But something happens, and I realised this writing stuff for this album that I actually enjoy the process, which is quite sad, really. The actual process of writing, whether the songs make it to an album, whether the songs are successful, whether people like the songs or the recordings, there's something we love in the process. Same with a gig, we love the process of doing the gig. And then you just move to the next one. It never actually ever gets anywhere. It just keeps going. And that's the thing personally I love and hate about it. You never get there. Although if I get there, it's
Now
what? Over to you.
Nice.
Okay, good. But how do you write songs in the band? So do you work out the songs all together, or?
We did our pieces at home, and we would send our bits into Francis. Do you like that?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. And we would just mainly do it at home, I suppose. Work out on our demos, send them through, see what's going to work, what's not going to work, and then come in individually and work on the tracks, and then see the track kind of grow. For me, it was incredible because I'd hear the demo, then I'd come back and the track. Francis had been working non-stop on the album, so to hear the track grow and into what it became in the end is it's a really enjoyable process.
Okay, cool. So teamwork.
It's the money. Give him his
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I'll pay him before. Oh, sorry. Yes.
I get paid with fruit.
Would you? 2 bananas for you,
Yes,
and
please.
a peach. Look at that
Yes.
peachy bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So, and while writing songs, do you need a special environment or special people around you, or your favorite food?
Away from the kids, for me.
Do you?
Yeah. Normally they drive me mad and say I have to go out to my music room, which is my man cave.
Okay, that's good.
No, it
Yeah,
depends.
the same. I think I tend to play guitar most nights because I practice, and then or you sometimes pick up a guitar, and luckily with modern technology, most of us have a phone of some sort, and I record bits on the phone, and I've got so many bits that suddenly get on the phone. We were doing the gig the other night, and John Edwards said to me sort of whispered to me in the intro of Down Down, something I was messing with. He said, we should do that. Over here. He said, we should do that. And that's what quite happens, a little section, a little moment, which then inspires you to finish the song. Otherwise, all music is pretty much the same. So something happens with his song. I always forget the title.
Get out of my head.
I said I always forget the title.
There's another album song.
Thank you very much. And when the initial piece of demo that he sent, if I'd have got my experience, if you like, or John's experience, or Andrew's experience to help him write the song, we would have added the age of our age to it. But the fact that his song sounds to me very much like a young man. Not that I was a young man when I was 30. People said we were too old. But just the same, there's something about his song that has that element, I said, that first little inspiration stays in the song. And to me, that's the tricky part, is to keep that initial inspiration that you get, which is one of the things that modern technology is great for. You can capture that and then listen to it, whereas years ago we couldn't capture that. You could play it again, but you didn't quite have that, whatever it was in the initial inspiration. Wait a minute, sweat break. You can't see this poor man, he's sweating because I'm such a big mouth. He's thinking, what is he going to... Il nomine Patris. He's just got a... New towel, please. Where's the towel, mistress? Towel, mistress? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. We can continue.
Okay, so I hope it's okay for you if I ask this, but
No.
what was the... No. what was the future of status quo when Rick Parfitt died?
I could have mimed that. Rick had retired before he actually died. He died for us, this is serious, he died for us in Turkey and then somehow was brought back to life with what the medics did to him, and he died subsequently 6 or 7 months later. But Rick was always... we have this expression in England, people burn the candle at both ends. There's the candle, you light the top and you light the bottom. Rick lit the top, the bottom and the middle. So it was going to burn out quicker than the rest of us. So we were always kind of prepared for that to happen. Him and I used to joke about who would die first and what we would do. And when we first saw Richie when he was 4, 5, 10, 15, how old were you?
12.
Young, he was 12. Were you that age?
No,
Am I
probably a bit
that
older.
old?
No.
I'm not that old, am I?
I'm lying.
You're lying,
Yeah.
good. When he was 30, he came to see us with his dad, he was a fan of the band, and Rick and I watched him, and Rick said to me, he's good, meaning he's good, isn't he? And then we joked afterwards what we should do. He said, when I die, you can get him in. And so we laughed, and he said, no, I have a better idea. He said, we get him in, I stay at home and watch the sport on the TV, and you go out and play with him. That's the kind of humour we had between Rick and I. So the fact that the seriousness of him dying happened, and he had said to me, I can't go on and do this, who will you get? And luckily we had Richie. It's almost like it's written. It sounds a little, but it sounds like it was written that Richie should be here. And much as some people don't like the idea of, some people don't like the idea of me being here, I can't help it, I've always been it. Sweat, one moment, sweat break. Some people don't like me being here. They don't like any of us being here, but we are, and then this is how it is.
Okay, and has anything changed in the band since then? So
Well,
maybe the collaboration,
less drugs.
the relationship within the band?
Yes, it's gotten... I think because some people said we should stop, they don't like the idea of me carrying on, or that it sounds like Francis Rossi and Friends. I think that's an insult to the guys that are in the band anyway. But people have to remember that the only person that's not in the band now is Rick. And Rick brought John to the band. Andrew's been in the band since 72, 73. Leon Kay's been in the band for 6 or 7 years. So for people to say that there's this drastic difference, that it's all is wrong. And so I think by them saying we should stop, all they've done is made me think, I won't stop. When Rick and I split from Alan Lancaster and John Coughlan, they said we shouldn't do it, and they made Rick and I fight on. And they've only done the same to... Won't fight on for too much longer because I'm older now, and I might not be here next year. Huh?
He's losing his mind now.
He's losing his mind now.
It's only early.
It's all the cocaine, you know.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, Everyone's like, don't say that. He's the new fella going, yeah.
Yeah.
How was it to record the new album without Rick?
I can't answer that one.
We've done that before. As I said, various times Rick would be ill or there'd be certain problems with it. But everybody has this image that we all just sat there glued like that. There were different ways of recording that we went for years. Quite often Rick would be put on after the event because he was either ill or something went wrong. So it isn't this as drastic as people think. Plus, it's very odd that my parents died and no one ever asked me 3 months after my mother was dead, but how is gigging without your mother? Or then my father died, but people constantly ask us how it is without Rick. the world is like that. The worst thing was being in Turkey, seeing Rick die on the floor, and then going back to our rooms and going through reception and people saying, "Good evening, can you check you in?" And there were people sat at the bar having a drink. That was the point that I thought, this is not right. And lots of people may have gone through that, where a relative has died or a friend has died. And guess what? The world just keeps going. The bus goes by, people get on the bus, they get off the bus, the sun comes up, it goes on. It isn't our fault that it goes on. We can't help that. Sweat. Okay. Sweat break. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
Yeah, that was a good accent, that.
It wasn't bad, was it, for Irish? Yeah.
Okay, and Richie, how was it for you to step into those big footsteps? I mean, I saw you playing in 2018 in Kempton, and the harmony in the band was so perfect. I mean, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, but it's coming into the when I first came in, I didn't realize it was going to be 3 years later and an album coming out. I thought it was going to be a few shows, so you kind of get your mind focused just to get over that initial hurdle and get that first show done, and then there was another show. So I never knew what was around the corner. So you're always just trying to keep up with the game, you know, keep going with the band, keep going on this journey. So, you know, it's to think 3 years later we're still here and an album's coming out. You know, I couldn't have thought that. So, but the first show, as I say earlier, was like a blur. When I look back, it came and went so quick. That, and people always ask, what was it like to go out? I say, I can't really remember. I can remember Francis and Simon, our manager, just saying, "Good gig" at the end, and off they went. And I just sat there and had a beer. It's like, what just happened?
We lied.
Yeah, I know, yeah. So no, it was incredible, but I think it's really become a band, a team effort over the last 3 years. We've really all dug in ourselves. So I miss Rick myself, but we've just continued on, and I think it's great that we keep the music alive rather than call it a day, if you know what I mean. So, but no, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see that you're keep going and rocking on. So
it's what we do. You can't help it.
Yeah.
It's just what we do. Otherwise, I retire as an old man. Cut.
You've got time.
Shit.
Shite.
Did I say shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just keep going. Sorry, you move on.
No, that's really cool. And so next week you're going to release a Backbone. So what's special for you?
I can't say there's anything special for me. I chose the material. I like them all. There's normally an out when you do ours. I've done a few. You think you skip a track because if for some reason you don't like that one or you don't like, and quite often you're wrong. But on this one, I chose all the material, so I like them all. It's difficult. You?
And you?
What's difficult for me is that I listen to this album now as the artist or the guy that wrote one of the songs, but before I was able to listen to a Status Quo album as a fan, so I can't listen to it in the same light. I look at it as I say, like a team effort, and go, we've pulled this together out of what, you know, this wasn't expected, it wasn't on the cards, and that's what came out. So the whole thing as a piece is fabulous, I think.
So you're excited for the album release?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
interesting that we had lots of, at the moment, success before it's released. But as I said to him and what's the drummer's name again? I always forget the drummer's name. David.
Dave Cave?
Dave Cave. That Dave Cave.
That's work. Dave.
That Dave Cave. It's really great, this pub. When you know the truth after release date. We're still on the price side to release date, so everything seems very positive. All the PR people and such are going to get people that are kind of positive to us. So it all seems fabulous, even Sweat Break. Everybody, it all seems fabulous, but you know the truth after release, and then you may be sitting here in 3 weeks' time going, oh, well, or wow, yeah. But it's never, I said to a guy earlier, and I say to these, try not to be negative. It's never going to do what things used to do in the 70s. And everyone seems to be looking back of how things used to be in their lives. And if we look back at that, there is nothing for us to go for. But there's still something else said about the ego that makes us make the album for what? To get to this, to get to release date, and to get to people say, great album, thank you. And that's enough, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is there maybe a special message behind the album?
That we're still here, maybe.
Okay.
And again, I think this is, when you think of it, this is the first album that this lineup has done. It's our first album. These guys have done so many albums with different members in the band. So this is this lineup's first, album as to here's what we can do. So who knows? We might do another one.
He's very good, He's very good. I think we'll keep him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So maybe do you have a song that you really like on the album with a special meaning for you? Maybe.
No, it's all a bit deep. It would be nice to say that, and I could make it up and tell you a lie, but possibly it hasn't necessarily a deep meaning. It's just a track called Backing Off that Andrew and I finished on a bus, in the front lounge of a bus about midday on a day off in Ulm. And it's something I really wanted to write with Andrew around the little riff. So if there's anything, it's backing off. Pardon me?
Sorry, I was drifting there.
You were drifting too,
sorry.
weren't you? Yeah, jolly good.
And how long have you been working on the album? From songwriting to final fine-tuning?
What year are we in?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is it? No, seriously. What is it? 19.
Yeah.
Beginning of 18?
Yeah, it was about a year in the making.
About the beginning of 18, but probably only about 3 months focused on recording time. And we were doing shows between, and then we'd be writing spells between, and he'd come and write, and Leon would come and write and bring stuff, but probably focused about 3 months.
That's good. That's fast.
Or 4 months. Is that better? Always a
It's
woman.
about a year
always
for
wants
him on the stool, but only a few days for us.
Okay.
I need to shut up, man. I can't help it. I really. Can you just chop my bits out and listen to him? It'd be much good.
Chop your bits off.
Sorry? I do the shit jokes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. It's my bit.
Sorry.
What's my script? Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, good.
This lady had her first time at Wacken. Wasn't that good?
Yeah.
You can chop that
That'll
out.
get chopped out for sure.
Bastard, yeah, I know.
There's a ring on the finger.
Hey, it's not my fault. Very well. He's a young man. He noticed this. See? Us older men wouldn't even look. You just give it a try anyway. We're like that, aren't we?
Pinch.
I take it there will be some editing here.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. Yeah, sorry, ma'am.
Okay, good.
Breath.
Back to the interview.
Back to the interview.
So you already released the title track of the album, Backbone. Really good song. Yeah, really good. So what is the song about?
Well, having backbone in life, I suppose. John Edwards did the lyrics. And again, that came from this piece I used to do at the front of Down Down, just messing about on stage as an ad-lib. And John, for a few years, said to me, we must do a song around that. And the idea was to make it even more monotonous than Stateless Crow songs normally are. That sequence, as soon as you hear the first round of the sequence, it just, to me, it always seems more like a disco song. And people say, it's really rock, with that strange voice. Why you can't say rock? You have to go rock, like that. See? Rock. And like your sore throat. But that thing just keeps going around, and I find that really strange that people see it as a rock song. And it's released here, and in England it's Liberty Lane, which are different. So that's another thing that's different these days. Do you want a banana? Not really?
No.
Oh, don't even go there.
I didn't.
Look out, we're getting now trouble.
Uh-oh.
The boss is in the room.
Liquid cocaine.
Is that liquid cocaine?
It is.
Oh, I love the old
It's all the rage.
Ain't lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you, my love.
So,
Sadie.
Oh, thank you.
That's this. That's the old
Perks
liquid.
of the job.
Jeez, how many in that?
Thank you. Oh, wait.
Why is the different songs?
what?
Why the different songs? Germany and...
Oh,
She can ask her own questions, thanks. Why two different songs? Yeah, I don't know. Do you know? Oh, do you know why there are two different songs? One in...
Why?
I don't know. I was asking you. Because I think these days the territories are different. It's, again, going back to in the 70s and 80s and 90s, you would have that the artist or the record company would dictate what was going to be released. And it's just different territories seem to work that way. And I dare say, from their point of view, you've got more chance if you've got 3 or 4 songs out there, which again, perhaps is one of the pluses of the internet. And there are always pluses and minuses, and perhaps that's the plus. We have Backbone here and Liberty Lane in England, and perhaps they'll swap over.
Okay.
I'm not into swapsies, do you?
But Liberty Lane will be the second single in Germany.
PR person talking. Did you hear the way he came? Like God.
You know more than us.
Liberty Lane will be the Il Nomine Patri. Bless you, Father.
And when will it be? When are you going to release the song?
Now you got me right. Yeah. After you finish the video, so when tell me when.
When?
Apparently, you two are doing the video. Did you say? I got him. Did you see? I got him there.
We will have a video finished for Liberty Lane.
Very great.
Later.
We knew
Yeah,
that.
Liberty Lane. They were actually doing it. Yeah, they are. But luckily, we're not in it, and they're great. First time in my life. First time in my life, I haven't been in a video. I think that's really great. I remember Michael Stipe on the second single. The guitarist said it was great news that Michael had agreed to be in the video. Well, we've agreed not to be in the video.
Yeah.
That's how wild we are. And I'm nearly 50 now, 60, nearly. I'm getting older.
So did you already play Backbone live? I mean, you had the summer.
That'll be an easy one.
Backbone will be quite tricky, but we're hoping to do that for next year. Oops, for next year we will add 3 more songs, which should give us 5 songs in the set.
Which means we only have to drop 1.
Pardon me?
We'll only have to drop 1 to put 5 in.
Yeah. Shut up.
Is there a big tour plan within the album?
No, we're not touring until next year, I don't think. There's talk of touring in next winter.
Next winter?
Because I'm trying to do things against the grain. At the moment, we're not doing encores. I find it really weird that wherever you go, you see a set list and someone's got encore written on it. Well, how do you know you're going to get one? It's supposed to be a thing that the audience just come up, you know, out of the blue. And so we tried not doing an encore, and I want not to tour an album because you're supposed to. And I just want to put things out of the... Cheers.
Cheers.
She's relaxing now, aren't you? Yeah.
Running out of time.
So, I'm looking forward to see you next year in winter, yeah?
Yeah.
I think we've got 3 or 4 more shows this year, which is... You may be touring in the summer, I'm not. Sorry?
So is it different, summer or winter?
No, he's been speaking to the manager who's obviously going to try and talk me into it, which... Sweat rag, not going to work.
Who knows?
Okay, we will see you next year. I can say this.
Next year.
Okay, good.
But it'll be winter.
Okay, good.
I like the winter, I don't like the summer.
Winter. So do you
Glühwein.
like Christmas?
I like Christmas, I like being in Deutschland around the Christmas period. I like shopping in Kaufhof and places like that.
Christmas markets.
Christmas market.
Glühwein.
Glühwein.
White Glühwein.
White Glühwein?
Yeah, it's hard to find.
Oh, gin.
No, white Glühwein.
You like gin, you always
do
drink
like
gin,
gin.
bloody Irish.
Can you put gin in Glühwein?
You can.
Gin, Glühwein.
He will.
Yeah.
That'll make it really
It's an
gluey.
Irish Glühwein.
Oh, yeah, good.
You've heard of Irish
That'll
coffee.
make it really gluey, I tell you.
You have to try it. Okay, and what are your plans for the future? Do you have plans?
When you get to 56, when you get to this age, making plans for the future is a bit optimistic. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up. If I don't get up,
We're out.
that's it, we're finished. They'll probably cancel the album. Forget it, no point in releasing it now. Plans for the future. I said I'm going to... I have a talk tour to do early next year. Then we will hopefully tour next autumn, from October till December. And I hope to be in Deutschland. I love Deutschland. It's true, I love Deutschland.
So thank you very much, Richie and Francis.
Took you a moment to remember his
Yeah.
name, though. I saw you.
I know, I noticed that pause,
I
yeah.
know that feeling. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sweats. I'm going to get you something. It's going
Sweat
to really
break.
sort that out. There he is. You can't see him. Damn good-looking fella. Damn.